Hey, good morning, everybody. I don't even know, I got dirt all over my face. I'm so sorry, y'all. It is Thursday. Yeah, it's Thursday. Anyway, Thursday about 10 o'clock. Hey, one of my friends said that you should just do this, um, go live every week that you mow and just call it the mowing minister. So welcome to the weekly or bi-weekly, depending on the amount of rain and, grass length, mowing minister. So good morning. Good morning. So let me tell you what I was doing today. So we moved into this, house and, that we're renting, and I've been here a few weeks, and this house was vacant for I don't know about 9 months or something like that. So during that time, and I'm just going to jump right into the lesson. I'm going to jump right into what I was doing and what God showed me. So this house has been vacant for about 9 months, and so when we first moved in, right, it was kind of overwhelming, like especially with cutting grass and weed eating and pulling weeds and different things like that. And so today, um, as I was mowing, I found myself going to further areas of the property that we have here to cut more grass, to cut some of the grass that we had let just be tall over the last um, month or so. And so I find myself that every time that I mow, I'm taking back more territory. I'm claiming back more of the land that the tall grass or that the weeds have claimed. And then we're still mowing, boys are mowing and I'm weed eating. But then I grab this sprayer to start killing some of the weeds. So I'm gonna flip my camera around and I want to show you what I was doing with this weed sprayer. Let me figure this out here. All right. So so there's this fence, right? And there's and there's all these long weeds. And so I've got like this weed killer. So it's really interesting as I'm sitting here and I'm spraying these weeds. But as this weed killer comes out, is all it's doing is it's touching this top part. It's only touching this top part of the weeds, the foliage. But I really want to get down to the root. So I started sticking my wand thing down to the roots, but I kept getting stuck. And so I couldn't really access the root of these weeds, which is where I wanted to apply the weed killer. And so I'm like, well, do I cut these weeds at the top and then do I put this weed killer at the bottom? But I realized that it's not really going to do me any good just to kill the top of the weed. I need to get to the bottom of the weed. I need to get to the root of the weed. And then here's another thing: as I was sitting here spraying these weeds, at certain points I saw fruit. And so there was like strawberries growing. So I'm like, okay, so this is just really interesting, Lord. I'm like, there's actually weeds and fruit or strawberries growing in the same place. So I'm just like, okay, well, Lord, what do I do now? Like, how do I kill these weeds but leave the fruit? How do I nurture and grow the strawberries but not aim my weed killer to kill the strawberries? I want the fruit to grow, but I want the root to die. And so that's what I was doing. So now I'm just going to talk about like what hopefully my phone doesn't heat up like it did the last time. So I'm just going to Ooh, it's bright. I don't even know if I can't even barely see myself. Um, so anyway, so what the Lord was just telling me is he said, so many times we go after the top of the weed in our life. We have things, we have hurts, we have habits, we have hang-ups. We go after the top of the weed, but we don't actually get down to the root. My phone, I think it's just because it's bright. I'm gonna try and do this. Maybe this will change it. I think it changed the setting on me. Anyway, let me know if you can see me. I can't even barely see myself. Um, but anyway, so basically what the Lord was showing me is that, a lot of times in life, or especially in my life, is I went after the weeds in my life, but all I was doing was weed eating the top of my weeds. I wasn't actually applying the weed killer to the root of my weed, right? And then I had some good fruit amongst the weeds. And so sometimes as I would take a weed eater to the weeds, it would end up killing all the strawberries. We can see you. Good. Thanks, babe. The weed eater would actually kill some of the good fruit in my life. And so where am I going with this, right? I'm talking about, cutting more grass every week, taking back territory that's already mine that I haven't gotten to, that I've let overgrow, right? I've talked about spraying weeds at the top, but it's not really any good. You really have to get to the bottom. I've talked about spraying weeds and sometimes seeing fruit amongst the weeds. So how do I kill the weed and leave the good fruit? And so here's the lesson in this. So Obviously, we're aware of the ministry of deliverance of Jesus, where he comes in and he commands unclean spirits to leave you. And so I'll just testify. This is going to be really quick, but I was bound up by addiction and depression. And I was a Christian and I had been in recovery meetings, different recovery meetings. I have keychains, I have chips, I have, lots of chips, a lot of keychains. And so I was in recovery, but I was never free. All I was doing was white knuckling my addictions. All I was doing was switching one addiction to the next addiction. You see, I was taking a weed eater to my weeds, but I never was taking it to the root of the weed and pulling it up by the root of the weed. And so any of you have done gardening, and I'm going to tie this in here in a second. Any of you have done gardening or landscaping, when you pull out that bad root, what does it leave? It leaves a gap, it leaves a void, it leaves a hole. And so what do you do with that gap or that void or that hole? You see, I was bound. I wasn't free. I was in recovery, but I wasn't free. I was weed eating the symptoms, the alcohol, the pain pills, the porn, but I was never attacking the root of the issue. And so Jesus came in and broke the chains of addiction. And that was step one. But then what he realizes step two of deliverance, or concomitant with deliverance, meaning at the same time, is what's called inner healing. And I want to talk about that because I want to lead you to some place where you can go very soon to receive some inner healing. And so he broke the chains of addiction for me. And then he showed me that the root of my addiction was rejection. See, so then Jesus came in through the process of inner healing and pulled out the root of rejection. See, some of you may have been set free from the symptoms, set free of the bad fruit, set free of the weed sprouting on top of the ground, but the root is still penetrating into the ground, and unfortunately, it's still getting nourished. And so, the process of inner healing is when there's an open door due to hurts or wounds or trauma or abuse. That open door is an open access for the enemy to come in and to to bear his bad fruit in your life. Come on, somebody. Sorry, I hope my phone doesn't overheat. It's kind of dark right now. So anyway, hopefully you can hear me and see me. Um, so if you have an open door in your life, if you have an open wound in your life, unforgiveness, bitterness, offense, trauma, rejection, abandonment, rebellion, religion, those open wounds are open doors for the enemy to come in. You give access, you give legal right to him, and he will just have a heyday. And so what I want to talk about is to allow you, for you to allow the Lord to come in and not only to break every chain of your hurt, your habit, your hang up, but actually to penetrate down like the weed killer, get down to the root and to pull up the root. Um, Sorry, there's this loud truck coming by. um, to pull it up by the root, right? The root of rejection, the root of rebellion, the root of religion, the root of trauma. And then the last thing is when there's a hole left, there's a void created when the root is gone. Let God to come in and heal you. Let the Holy Spirit come in and put his antibiotic salve and to literally fill you up with the soil of the Lord to make you whole. Just like the woman with the issue of blood. She came in as daughter. She was unclean, right? And every person she touched on the way to Jesus, she made ceremonially unclean. And you realize that when she touched Jesus, she actually made him ceremonially unclean. But you realize that the purity of Jesus is not contaminated. A bowl cannot taint a bowl. You can't taint it. You can't ruin it. So the purity of Christ, when you guys touch him, he makes you clean. You can't make Jesus ceremonially unclean, right? He's the Lord. And so when you allow the Lord to pull the root out of your life through deliverance and inner healing, then you invite the Lord to come in to restore you and to make you whole. And see, many of us, and part of my testimony in certain areas of my life that God is still working on, I've been set free of different areas. He's pulled up, the roots through inner healing, but I'm still being made whole. I'm still inviting the Lord to fill that voided space that the root occupied for 52 years and inviting the Lord to put his soil in my life so then good seed can take root and bear good fruit. Come on, somebody. And so our life should be a display of Galatians 5:22, right? The fruits of the Lord, and that's how they should know us. And so as I wrap this up, I want to tell you about something that's happening in a couple weeks. Um, I'm talking to the men and the women. This specifically is for the men, but there's going to be some news things coming out for the women, some opportunities, or we can get you plugged in. But Prophet Landon Latham, which is a core revival hub in Louisiana, is hosting a men's intensive for inner healing, being brought to sonship. And so I've been asked to speak and teach one of the lessons there on breaking generational curses and identity, and that's part of my testimony. And I'm thankful for that. And so there's only 9 spots left. Lindsay, if you're on here, if you can tag Prophet Landon Latham and Apostle Krista on this one, so then they can click on them. And I think, babe, if you can tag Christ Transformation Center down in Louisiana. We want to get you guys connected. So August 6th, 7th, and 8th, I think are the dates, or 7th, 8th, and 9th is the men's intensive for inner healing, for deliverance, and to be made whole. And so I just want to encourage everybody watching this and share this if it blessed you. I just want to encourage you that you can live free this side of heaven. You don't have to live with weeds amongst your fruit. You don't have to live with bad fruit. You don't have to live with, it says slow connection. So praying that's not the case. Um, you don't have to live with bad fruit in your life. You can allow the mighty right hand of the Lord to come in and to pull all those weeds from the root and then to make you whole. So I hope that all makes sense. I hope it blesses you. I hope my um, live stream with the mowing minister is of some encouragement to you guys. And anyway, love you guys. We'll catch you next time.